you had 8 years of George W. Bush, now almost 8 years of Barack Obama, rather different in their policies toward the Middle East, to say the least. How do these two very opposed but very Middle East involved regimes of ours look in the region?
Safwan or
either one.
How do they look different in the region in terms of how they're perceived?
Well,
in the region?
I guess, yeah, how do they look different? Is the Iraq War a sort of original sin level mistake from which many consequences follow? The perception among some here that Obama has been too passive and too disengaged, is that shared in the region?
Yeah, and I think there are more commonalities probably than differences in terms of how the two
that's counterintuitive too.
Yeah.
So please elaborate.
Well, I mean, you know, there is distrust of America. There is distrust of the U.S. and its foreign policy, and you know that goes back to a very long time. There were periods of hope, and certainly Obama coming into the White House and the Cairo speech created a lot of hope, which then resulted in much disappointment, if you will. I don't know if Nick would agree. This Nick would agree with me that probably conspiracy theory was originated in the Middle East. I mean, you know, I think it's a. But everything is sort of a conspiracy, and everything becomes an American Zionist conspiracy. So I think there is more and more what I sense in that part of the world is that people don't distinguish between one U.S. leader versus another, or one party versus another to a very large extent. I think there is certainly anger and resentment of the United States for the 2003 invasion of Iraq, but I would say also there is perhaps, if not equal, but significant anger for the way that Obama has exited Iraq. Mm-hmm. You know, there is a sense that of irresponsibility, if you will, toward the region. You know, on Syria, you have different schools of thought and different opinions on what the United States should be doing, but there is an overall sense that there has been an abandonment. Yeah.
I mean, just to follow on from your idea of commonality, I agree that we were talking earlier that there are major differences, but if there is one commonality which I think many in the region do see coming out of both the Bush administration and the Obama administration, it's that there's been a sort of a common assault from both on the, for want of a better word, either the Sunni clients or the Sunni satraps, which were ruling the Middle East for so long. The overthrow of Saddam Hussein allowed, and the staging of elections in Iraq allowed for the Shia majority to take control, particularly in the south. The follow-on from the Obama administration would be to see the downfall of other Sunni dictators in the region, particularly Gaddafi, and you know, following on from that, the deal with the nuclear deal with Iran. It's almost as if there's been consistent opening of doors to Shia power in the region and a closing off to Sunni power. I think that's a vast oversimplification of what is actually happening, but I think that perception that somehow America is abandoning its Sunni allies in the region is very much uppermost in the minds of many Sunni leaders that still survive in the region.